I'm Sarah Thompson, 32, a mortgage specialist at Community First Bank in Denver. My younger sister Emma and I were inseparable until her husband Marcus nearly killed me in my own kitchen over a loan denial. The worst part wasn't the blood pooling on my tile floor, it was Emma choosing him over me while I lay there broken. Even the veteran police officers looked disturbed by her betrayal. Growing up, Emma and I only had each other. Our parents ran a successful accounting firm, which meant they were never home. I naturally fell into the protective older sister role, making sure Emma had everything she needed. We shared secrets, dreams, and an unbreakable bond that I thought would last forever. Then Marcus Rivera entered our lives during Emma's junior year of college. Tall, charming, with an easy smile and big ambitions, he swept my sister off her feet. I noticed red flags from the beginning, how he criticized Emma's choices, interrupted her conversations, and made decisions without consulting her. But Emma was smitten, and I held my tongue. After their wedding, they struggled financially in a cramped apartment with their 2 young children. Emma confided that Marcus wanted to buy a house, and with my connections at the bank, he expected me to ensure their approval. That's how they ended up in my office one Tuesday morning, discussing their dream home, a $580,000 4-bedroom house in an upscale neighborhood. When I reviewed their finances, red flags immediately appeared. Marcus's credit score was lower than claimed. There were maxed-out credit cards, late payments, and a collection account. Their debt-to-income ratio was already concerning. Based on these figures, you'd qualify for around $320,000, I explained gently, showing them more affordable options. Marcus's face darkened. That's ridiculous. We need the house we picked. The kids deserve better than some rundown starter home. There are nice options in that range, I countered, but Marcus stood abruptly. You're not even trying to help us. I thought family meant something to you. Emma tried to calm him, but the look he gave her made my stomach tighten, a flash of cold anger that made her immediately withdraw her hand and fall silent. Despite serious reservations, I submitted their application, hoping against hope it might somehow work. 3 days later, the inevitable email arrived, denied. Multiple reasons: insufficient income, high debt ratio, recent late payments, unresolved collection account. I called Emma privately to prepare her for the news. The application wasn't approved, I said gently, but I found some lovely homes in your price range. Marcus put down a non-refundable $7,000 deposit. Emma interrupted, panic in her voice. Money we don't have. He was confident you'd make it happen. My heart sank. Making an offer without secured financing was incredibly risky. He's going to blame me, Emma whispered. Please, Sarah, there must be something else you can try. Before I could respond, my phone rang. Marcus. You lying bitch, he snarled without preamble. You promised you'd get us approved. I never promised approval, I replied, fighting to stay professional. I submitted your application and advocated for you, but I can't override lending criteria. You sabotaged us. You've always looked down on me, thinking I'm not good enough for your precious sister. His accusations escalated until he was screaming threats through the phone. You find a way to approve our loan, or you'll regret it. That's a promise. The line went dead, leaving me shaken. 2 days later, Marcus called again, his voice eerily calm. I've been thinking about our conversation. Let's meet and discuss alternatives. How about your place after work? Say, 6:30. Something felt wrong, but I was desperate to salvage the situation for Emma's sake. Okay, I'll text you my address. No need, Marcus replied smoothly. Emma already gave it to me. That evening, I arrived home around 6:15 with groceries and materials about affordable housing options. As I walked up my front steps, I heard heavy footsteps behind me. I turned to see Marcus approaching, his face twisted with rage. You ruined everything, he snarled, shoving me hard against my front door. My groceries scattered across the porch. Do you have any idea what you've done? Marcus, please, let's talk rationally. His open palm connected with my cheek, so hard my head snapped sideways. Stars exploded across my vision. Don't you dare blame me, he growled. This is your fault. All of it. I tried to unlock my door, but Marcus grabbed my arm and yanked me back violently. I stumbled down the steps, landing hard on my knees on the concrete walkway. Pain shot through my legs as I scrambled to my feet. "Help!" I screamed, looking desperately toward my neighbors' houses. "Somebody help me." Marcus lunged forward, grabbing a fistful of my hair. "Shut up," he hissed, dragging me toward my front door. "This is between family." I fought back, clawing at his hands, but he was stronger. He shoved me through the doorway with such force that I slammed into the entryway table, knocking over a lamp that shattered on the floor. "You think you're so much better than me," Marcus was ranting, pacing like a caged animal. "Little Miss Perfect with her banking job, looking down on us." "That's not true," I gasped, tasting blood from my nose. "I was trying to protect Emma from financial disaster." "Liar," he roared, kicking over my coffee table. Photos scattered across the floor. "You never wanted us to succeed." He advanced on me again, and I scrambled backward until I hit the wall, trapped. When I raised my arms to protect my face, his fist connected with my ribs. Pain radiated through my torso, stealing my breath. Marcus grabbed me by the throat, hauling me to my feet and pinning me against the wall. "You had one job," he hissed, his fingers tightening around my neck. "One job to help your family." Black spots danced at the edges of my vision as his grip constricted my airway. I clawed desperately at his hands, panic overwhelming me as I struggled to breathe. Then I heard the most beautiful sound, sirens in the distance, growing louder. Marcus heard them too. His grip loosened as he glanced toward the window. In that moment of distraction, I kneed him hard between the legs. He doubled over with a howl, releasing me. But he recovered quickly, his face twisted with renewed rage. This time when he struck me, the force sent me crashing into my bookshelf. I felt something crack in my shoulder as books rained down around me. I collapsed to the floor, vision blurring, blood filling my mouth. "This is your fault." Marcus stood over me, breathing heavily. "You destroyed my family." Car doors slammed outside, followed by pounding on the door. "Police. Open up." Marcus froze, then leaned down close to my face. "This isn't over," he whispered. Two officers burst in, weapons drawn. "Get on the ground." Marcus immediately raised his hands, his demeanor transforming instantly. "Thank God you're here. My sister-in-law had some kind of breakdown. She attacked me when I came to discuss family business." The female officer looked from Marcus to me, taking in my bloodied face and the destruction around the room. Her expression hardened. "Sir, step away from her. Now." As paramedics arrived, I heard Marcus still protesting his innocence. "This is a misunderstanding. She's unstable. I'm the victim here." I spent 6 hours in the emergency room. Fractured orbital bone, hairline clavicle fracture, multiple contusions, soft tissue damage to my throat. The doctor said I was lucky not to have sustained more serious injuries. Throughout the medical examinations and police interviews, I kept asking about Emma. Finally, a victim advocate named Lisa told me, "Your sister's on her way." Relief washed over me. Emma would understand. We'd face this together like we always had. When Emma entered my hospital room, her eyes widened at my battered appearance. But instead of rushing to comfort me, she approached hesitantly, as if unsure of her welcome. "The kids?" I asked immediately. "They're with Mom and Dad," she said, not meeting my eyes. "They don't know what happened yet." Something in her tone made me uneasy. "Emma, you and the kids need to stay away from Marcus. He's dangerous." She flinched. "What exactly happened, Sarah?" "Marcus says you attacked him when he came to talk about alternative options." I stared at her in disbelief. "You can't be serious." "Look at me, Emma. Look at what he did." "I know it looks bad," she said quickly. "But Marcus said you were hysterical, that you blamed him for losing the house and came at him with a kitchen knife." "A kitchen knife?" I was stunned. "Emma, I never." "You've always been so protective of me," she interrupted. "Maybe you thought he wasn't good enough. When the mortgage fell through, maybe you just snapped." The betrayal cut deeper than any physical wound. "How can you believe that? I'm your sister." Emma's expression hardened. Yes, but Marcus is my husband, the father of my children. Do you have any idea what this arrest will do to our family? What about what he did to me? Without his income, we'll lose everything, Emma continued, pacing the small room. The apartment, the car, health insurance for the kids. And now with his arrest, his construction job might fire him. We can figure something out, I insisted. You and the kids can stay with me until… Until what? Until we're homeless? Until I have to explain to Lily and Ben why Daddy isn't coming home. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You'd rather risk their safety than leave him? He would never hurt us. This was different. This was about the house, about the mortgage. Her voice rose. If you had just found a way to approve it. So this is my fault. Emma's composure cracked. I need you to drop the charges. The request hit me like another physical blow. What? Please, Sarah. For me, for the kids. If this goes to court, if he's convicted, we'll lose everything. I can't do that. He needs to face consequences. If you press charges, if you testify against him, Emma's voice turned cold, I won't be able to forgive you. You'll be choosing your vindictiveness over your family's welfare. Vindictiveness.
Heartbroken.
Is that what you think this is? She paused at the door. If you go through with this, don't call me again. Don't try to see the kids. We'll be done. With that ultimatum, she walked out, leaving me alone with my injuries and an impossible choice. Despite Emma's threats, I pressed charges. Not just for myself, but for her and the children, even if they couldn't see it. The veteran detective investigating my case nodded grimly when I made my decision. This level of violence doesn't just happen once, he told me. Without consequences, it typically escalates. The weeks that followed were lonely. My parents remained neutral, visiting once but clearly uncomfortable with the situation. Emma cut off all contact. I returned to work with visible bruises, facing whispers and speculation from colleagues. The court proceedings revealed shocking truths. During financial discovery, investigators uncovered that Marcus had been systematically defrauding Emma for years, credit cards opened in her name without knowledge, loans against joint assets, money funneled into hidden accounts. The mortgage denial hadn't just been about the house. It had threatened to expose his elaborate financial deception. When Emma learned about the fraud, she finally filed for divorce and agreed to testify about the financial abuse. We met for the first time since the hospital outside the courthouse. I'm sorry, she said simply, tears in her eyes. I should have believed you. You were trapped, I replied, embracing her carefully. But you're free now. The trial was swift. With overwhelming physical evidence, witness testimony, and the financial fraud conviction, Marcus was sentenced to 7 years in prison. As officers led him away, he turned toward us with pure hatred. This isn't over, he snarled. But it was. His threats held no power anymore. 6 months later, I stood in my backyard watching Emma's children play in my garden, their laughter a healing balm. Emma sat beside me, stronger than she'd been in years. They ask about him sometimes, she said, watching her kids chase butterflies. I tell them Daddy made bad choices and has to stay away for a while. How are you doing with that? She considered the question. Some days are harder than others. But then I remember I'm free now. We all are. I nodded, understanding completely. My own recovery had been neither quick nor easy, but I was healing, finding strength I never knew I possessed. You know what I